Welcome to the Wee Robot Party. As you can see, I just arrived in the robotaxi. The cost of autonomous transport will be so low, you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The Optimus robots will walk among you. And what can it do? It can do anything you want.
Progress, progress, progress. We're making lots of progress. The world, it seems to be spinning faster than ever. We get more news, more information, more everything. Super, super fast. But is it possible, with all of our progress, with our ability to do virtually everything lickety-split, come on, there's my water, flip, there's my light, boop, I adjust the temperature. It all happens so fast, including the amount of information that we are bombarded with every single day. Is it possible, with the pace of life, we don't slow down to actually think? There used to be a day when inventions were made that society took the time to say, hey, is this actually a good thing or a bad thing? Don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you watched the Downton Abbey, that technology and progress and societal advancements, they were a reoccurring theme in that particular program. Why? Because we used to think about these things. Does technology, does societal progress come with a price tag? If and you recall, not a great movie, Inherit the Wind, nevertheless, a monologue delivered by Spencer Tracy, he made it clear, these advancements, they come with a price tag.
Gentlemen, progress has never been a bargain. You have to pay for it. Sometimes I think there's a man who sits behind a counter and says, all right, you can have a telephone, but you lose privacy and the charm of distance. Madam, you may vote, but at a price. You lose the right to retreat behind the powder puff or your petticoat.
Progress, technology, inventions, we breathe them in as if they were oxygen without ever questioning, what price might we be paying for these things? Seriously, you fly above terra firma, getting a beverage, putting down the window shade, perhaps adjusting how much air is blowing on you. Ding, oh flight attendant, come and take care of my needs. And yet we have lost something. We have lost the thought, whoa, flying through the air like a bird. How amazing! Let's be honest, we've lost our amazement. Consider the telephone. Of course you have one. It's probably attached to your body right now. I know where mine is right now. I gots to know where it is. But have we ever stopped to think, wait a second, this phone, that means any person on the planet could ring me up inside of my home? That was considered a privacy invasion. And that is why people a century and a half ago went, whoa, 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 with the telephone, the wireless, somebody's voice, just, oh, now suddenly somebody else is talking inside of my house. What are we doing? And that was a question that used to be asked. And for your consideration, I would like to ask you to ask that very question. No, I'm not suggesting that Christians become Luddites. We shun technological advancements. We don't want any progress. I am not suggesting that at all. Progress is good. Progress is Genesis. It is the mandate that you and I have to take this planet and make it a better place. And that is precisely what we see through the Industrial Revolution, the Technological Revolution, highways, buildings, running water, all for human flourishing, all signs of man's creative hand, a reflection of God's creativity as we go about subduing the planet for our betterment. Progress is good, but might I simply encourage you and me to not just accept it without considering, hey, what's the cost of this? Yes, this advancement, it's so cool, but at what cost? Do you remember when the television was introduced? I Googled it. I watched the YouTube video machine and saw that people were like, whoa, 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 whoa. These people coming into our home, how do I know who they are? What might they do to my children? Could they try to somehow brainwash them? We don't even think about that. Of course you get a TV. That's just what we do. But when it was first introduced, there were people with concerns. Again, I'm not suggesting we shouldn't therefore have televisions or any new advancements, but we should stop and go, are there dangers afoot? Recently, while watching technology, saw an interview that arrested me. I was fascinated by the conversation. Ben Shapiro, gotta give him props. He hosts a weekly interview program where he actually lets the guests talk. It's a kooky idea. And he had Tucker Carlson on the program, who considers himself to be a paleoconservative. Have you heard about this? This isn't old Ronald Reagan type of conservatism. This is an infusion of Christian values into conservative thinking, paleoconservatism. Kind of interesting. Tucker Carlson is an Episcopalian. Nevertheless, he's trying to bring some biblical ideas to bear on how we go about the business making decisions. And that's why when Ben Shapiro challenged him on the issue of driverless trucks, I went, is this fellow onto something here?
The question is, when the pedal hits the metal, like you talk in the book about technology and how it's shifting and taking away jobs from folks. Yes. And you make specific reference to truck driving and the fact that there are going to be these automated cars on the roads. So would you, Tucker Carlson, be in favor of restrictions on the ability of trucking companies to use this sort of technology specifically to, sort of artificially maintain the number of jobs that are available in the trucking industry?
Are you joking? In a second. In a second. In other words, if I were president, when I say to DOT, to Department of Transportation, we're not letting driverless trucks on the road, period. Why? Really simple. Driving for a living is the single most common job for high school educated men in this country, in all 50 states. By the way, that's the same group whose wages have gone down by 11% over the past 30 years. The social cost of eliminating their jobs in a 10-year span, 5-year span, 30-year span is so high that it's not sustainable. So the greater good is protecting your citizens.
Whoa! What kind of Luddite is Tucker Carlson? What does he have against capitalism? Is it possible that you and I need to do some pondering? No. I am not saying we throw out the baby or the bathwater, but perhaps we stop accepting every new advancement as something that simply must take place. Is it possible that as Christians, because we want to love our neighbors, when a new advancement is introduced, we stop and ask, well, how is this going to affect my neighbor? It is indeed true. Whenever an advancement is introduced to culture, it will hurt somebody. Somebody's going to be put out of a job. And I know you would respond and say, well, sure, one sector goes down, 3 others take their place and even more flourish. That is entirely valid. And that is why I am not suggesting we put an end to all technology and progress. Nor am I suggesting we just put the pedal to the metal and never ponder these things. Do 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 do. Thank you for calling technical support. This is Todd Friel, the Wretch. The song refers to. Could I possibly put you on hold for a moment?
Todd, we have talked about this. You cannot answer the phone this way.
Righto. Thank you for calling technical support. This is Todd Friel, the Wretch the song refers to.